Hey guys, my name is Carly Burruss and I am a coach here at Rooted. I've been here for probably a little over a year and a half now, and I coach piano, voice, and songwriting. And in addition to all of that, I'm a country artist and songwriter, and I lead worship at a church in Atlanta. So with all of those career paths combined, I have had a ton of experience performing on stages and just a lot of tangible experience in the music world. And one of those that I want to talk about today is overcoming stage fright. It is a huge battle for most performers, and realistically, there are several points that I can give you to hopefully help you overcome that and build up some confidence of your own. So the first of those points is that psyching yourself up is only half the battle. You can spend so much time before you go in to perform anywhere. If you're leading worship on a stage, if you're playing at a recital, or if you're playing at a concert as a musician or a singer, you can spend a lot of time at home or even on your drive there just getting so worked up about it in your mind, where your focus is totally disengaged from what you're about to do. So the first step in that is just to relax yourself. Find out if you maybe some music that you listen to that just helps calm you down a little bit, or just really anything that you know personally can help you chill out. And then the other point with that is to practice, to know your music. If you're playing an instrument, know your chords, know the setup of the song, know your transitions, all of that like the back of your hand. And if you're a singer, know the lyrics, and just make sure by doing all of those things that you have one less thing to worry about. That kind of just frees you up to get on stage and do exactly what you're there to do. One less thing to worry about, one less thing to be anxious about. You can get up there with at least that confidence that the one thing you're on stage to do, which is perform, you're prepared for it and you know exactly what's expected of you in that moment. The second point is practice, practice, practice. Cannot stress that enough, but really what I'm trying to say with that is get on stage as much as you can. In whatever context that you can, it's always going to help you get better. You're going to build up a little bit more confidence. You're going to be a little bit more at ease every time, because then you'll be in front of an audience a lot. You'll learn those skills, which I've learned, especially playing country shows on the road, of how to read an audience, how to kind of gauge if they're interested, if they're not, what to do to rope them back in, and really just how to be an authentic performer. So getting on stage at open mics at your church, at concerts that you're playing in, wherever that may be, will be a huge help to you and just naturally help you get better at it. Another trick that I do for this is I go to a lot of concerts and I watch like YouTube videos of a lot of my favorite artists. That way I can see kind of how they work the stage, how they talk to their audiences, how to like not be awkward with your hands. You know, you don't want your hands just up here or awkwardly by your side. But I just watch how they kind of interact with their instrument, how they move around the mic stand, if they hold their mic up to their mouth like this, kind of what they're doing to work the stage that doesn't look fake and doesn't look awkward, but just makes them the most comfortable. And then whenever you do that kind of research for yourself, you can kind of pick and choose little aspects of that to apply to you, and then decide what makes you authentic, because you don't want to be totally them, but you want to be the best version of yourself. So practice, get on stage as much as possible, and then study the people that you love too, because that can be super duper helpful. And then the last point that I have is lead from a place of acceptance, not for acceptance. This has been hammered into my head, especially in the worship world. From being on stage, you're not there to get people to affirm you or tell you like how great of a job you're doing or what a great performer you are. You're there to lead people into the presence of God. And so this can apply, I've learned, to other genres and other places as well, not just at church, that you're putting yourself in a super vulnerable position when you're on stage. And you don't want to be looking out at the audience, gauging how well you did, and letting your self-worth be dependent on how people react to you, especially if you were preparing for this for so long and you put your heart and soul into it, and maybe it's your own original songs. You don't want all of that to just tear you down in an instant for something that you've worked really hard for and that you're probably really great at. So That's just a good reminder to keep at the forefront of your mind when you're performing or you're on a stage anywhere, is that your worth and acceptance comes from God, and that's unshakable. And when you have that focus, then whatever the circumstances are around you, it kind of just tears all of those down, because none of that should shake you and who you know yourself to be. And so being on a stage won't affect that. So just a quick recap of all 3 points. The first one is psyching yourself up is only half the battle. Make sure that you find some things to relax yourself, and that you also know your music like the back of your hand, because that'll be a huge help to knocking off just some of that anxiety and worry before you get on a stage. The second point is to practice, to get on every stage that you possibly can, just to build up as much tangible experience as you can, that you can always be learning from and improving on. And then the last and final point is to lead from a place of acceptance, not for it. Remembering that all of your worth and acceptance comes from God, and no audience, no bad performance is going to shake that. So I hope that you take all of these points, apply them to your own lives and careers, wherever you're leading or performing, and hopefully these help you get a lot better and build up some confidence of your own.